Up next, how the University of Miami is leading a new fight to save our coral reef.
Losing incredible revenue and incredible ecological services.
Then, the story of a Miami High legend whose impact still shapes our campus today.
That poor cat, who's gonna feed him? I ended up being the guy.
Later, how new sensory gyms are changing the lives of autistic students right here in Miami.
We realized there weren't any spaces that were truly for them and their needs.
This and much more up next. Hello, I'm Mauer Chaga and welcome to Stingtown News, where we bring you the stories that define our school and our community. We begin underwater, where researchers at the University of Miami are leading efforts to protect one of Florida's most fragile ecosystems, our coral reefs. Here's Eli Edmonson with more.
Miami's clear waters hide a growing crisis. Its coral reefs, once colorful and protected, are rapidly disappearing. But the community is working to turn the tide.
We're already seeing such impacts from climate change on these creatures because they are not able to move and escape refuge from things like ocean warming and ocean acidification.
More than 70% of Florida's coral reefs are now in a state of net erosion, meaning they are degrading faster than they can grow, posing a great risk to Florida's ecosystem.
Coral reefs are the rainforests of the sea, that if we were to lose that, we would be losing incredible revenue, incredible ecological services, but also a ton of biodiversity.
But the University of Miami is working to make sure that doesn't happen. They've restored more than 1,800 corals across 21 Miami-Dade sites, producing over 350 meters of coral growth, with a 92% survival rate in the field.
And we essentially grow corals in our laboratory in what we call our wet lab. And so we're growing corals to outplant and to rebuild Florida's coral reef.
In the lab, scientists are racing to restore Miami's coral reefs. But out on the water, dive operators are feeling the impact as the reefs they depend on start to change right before their eyes.
It was very shocking when people were going out. They would travel in from all over the nation, internationally actually. They would get out there and they'd be like, this is stark. This is not what we wanted to see. And it's an awakening.
But after years of loss, divers say they're finally seeing signs of hope.
People are seeing more regeneration now. We're seeing new, more resilient coral growth, and it's extremely exciting. It's not going to change overnight. Coral takes forever to grow. But just the breath of fresh air that it gave us to know that no matter what happens, there's hope. And we can't lose that.
From the detailed work of scientists in the lab to the daily efforts of divers on the water, Miami is fighting to bring its reefs back to life and shaping the future of an entire community. Reporting for Stingtown News, I'm Eli Edmonson.
Protecting an entire ecosystem takes passion, time, and people willing to fight for something bigger than themselves. And that idea leads us into our next story, one about dedication here at Miami High and the impact one person has made across generations. Let's take a look.
Everyone knows Fred, and no, he's not the human, he's the cat.
Fred is nonchalant.
Fred is a sleepy cat.
Every morning, Fred is fed, but this time he decided to take a different path.
When I started teaching here in 2016, he was already here. Fred has always been around. We've always had cats. And he was mainly in the gym. And then he just made his way around school.
Only one person knows how he got here in the first place.
Come on, buddy. Let's go. Come on.
Sam Bumgarden is not the person you'd think is responsible for keeping these cats around.
I was the class of '63. My father died when I was young. My mother was a beautiful person, never remarried. So I didn't do things that were bad, but you just had nobody to really guide you. When my children started playing sports and I wanted to be around it, I started helping out coaching. My wife and I together started coaching girls basketball.
When I think of my father, I think of a gentleman. He would take us out to the park all the time, throw footballs, play basketball. It was like our family thing. I think our best moment as a family, and when it incorporates the basketball, would be the first time we won our state championship in 2005. It took us a lot of years to get there, to get to that point, and it was like a breath of fresh air, and that was probably one of the biggest moments we've had.
Ahead to Hampton, layup, good, 3.4 to go. They need to lead this, and that's it. Miami did it.
But it's about more than the love for the sport. It's about the Bumgardens' love for Miami High.
I think he wants to die here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he'll feel more comfortable living his last minutes here at Miami High than he will anywhere else. And I think one of the reasons why he cares for these cats so much here is not just because they're cats, but they're Miami High cats.
Basically, when we started coming over here, there were no cats around. And then all of a sudden, they just started, and then my wife would always say, "Oh, look at that poor cat. Who's gonna feed him?" I ended up being the guy, and she would do it then before she became handicapped.
And does that make you proud?
Oh, 100.
Miami High might forever live with cats, and it's all thanks to one man.
What a way to start a great tradition. Cats, right? Come on.
Reporting for the Morning Ray, I'm Alessandro De Palma.
Half of them would run from me when I first started feeding them.
Stories like this remind us that impact doesn't always come from big moments. Sometimes it grows quietly, over the years of small, meaningful acts. We've got one more story ahead, including a story about creative, inclusive spaces for autistic students. But first, a quick commercial break. Stay with us, we have more for you on Stingtown News.
Your year only happens once, but the memories will last forever. See your friends, your memories, and your stories. Don't be the one without it. Get your 2025 yearbook now before they're gone. Flip back to the moments that made this year unforgettable. Every smile, every game, every moment, all in one place. Order today because these moments matter the most.
Welcome back, Stings. Our final story tonight looks at a growing effort in Miami to better support autistic students. In the city, there's a sensory gym being designed to give students safe, calming spaces tailored to their needs. Here's more on the story.
We Rock the Spectrum is really unique because it's not your typical indoor playground. A lot of indoor playgrounds can be super overwhelming for kids with sensory needs. So it is very muted. All the colors are really easy to interact with. All of our equipment is sensory-based equipment, so things that you wouldn't ordinarily see unless you were getting occupational therapy, for example, and especially for kids that require a little bit more sensory support. I created We Rock the Spectrum pretty much out of necessity. Both of my children on the autism spectrum. We decided to make the move to South Florida, and when we got here, we realized there weren't any spaces that were truly for them and their needs. And once I completed the project, I was like, so many more people could benefit from a space like this. My kids were never truly comfortable in other typical indoor playground environments. Found myself apologizing constantly for their behavior, which resulted in me just not taking them out. This is a place where children can finally be themselves and parents can finally take a breather and relax. Our motto here is finally a place where you never have to say you're sorry, and we really mean that. Whenever a parent has a child that's having a difficult moment, and look at the wall. Do not apologize for yourself, for your kids. This is your space to feel safe and be yourself.
Other places were really difficult to bring my daughter because she doesn't enjoy toys or places in the same way like typical kids. This place gives me an opportunity to be part of a family, of a group. I have friends, so they have kids in the spectrum, and I can feel somebody is understanding me. My daughter can be part of something, so she is not excluded, and I can see my daughter improvement when she comes here.
This is a space where there's a lot to explore, a lot to see, and there's no right way to participate. So your kid might be sitting and engaging the entire time. They might be exploring the room. They might be crying. They might be social. They might not be social, but either way, they're taking something out of it by just being in this space and engaging, where there's no need for telling the kids how to act, what's right and what's wrong. It helps kids feel safe and bonded with their grown-ups.
At We Rock the Spectrum, it truly is quiet meets chaos, but in the best possible way. What's great about the gym is gross motor play and fine motor play are the #1 priority, but if you do need a minute to yourself to calm down and regroup, we have a state-of-the-art sensory calming room, which has all different types of calming equipment, and it gives the kids a chance to take a breath, regroup, and be able to rejoin the play space. My dream and my hope is that parents that have neurotypical kids will be able to come into this space, see children with autism and other neurodiversities, and realize that they all speak the same language, which is just play.
Whether it's under the ocean, in the heart of our school, or inside a sensory-safe room, these stories remind us that actions, big or small, truly matter. That's all for this edition of Stingtown News. Follow us at Stingtown News and stay updated by watching The Morning Ray and The Daily Sting. I'm Raul Archaga. Thanks for watching and spending just some of your time with us today. We'll see you next time.